One, two, three. Just testing the sound, guys. So, how are you guys? I see that some of you already are on the chat, so I'm just doing the test sound. Please let me know into the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear myself, just say hi into the chat. I can hear you. And yeah, that's it, guys. So, I want to know how are you? I see that my Trambu is here, also Basti Soriano. So, welcome, and Basti Soriano says Merry Christmas. So also Merry Christmas for you guys. I know that today in your area is going to be Christmas in a couple of hours for the most of you, for those of you that are in Asia. Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm hearing myself. So give me a second. I need to do a test with the sound again. So just 1 second, please. And one moment. All right, it's telling me that I'm supposed to be live with you guys. Just 1 second. Okay, not able to hear myself yet. Let's see. Oh, probably I'm having this disconnected already, but still unable to hear myself. Okay, what happened here? I'm worried. Probably I'm mute the sound. No, the sound is working. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Tieflings, how are you? Hey, frontman, you can hear me? That's just a little bit strange because I'm still unable to hear myself. Probably I'm mute. All right, now I'm able to hear myself, guys. So let's start with the class. Hello, 1, 2, 3. All right, so in the chat I see that some of you are already connected. So welcome, frontman. Welcome also Basti Soriano, and welcome to my from Hawaii. Okay, so Merry Christmas for all of you guys. So starting with the class, we are going to start with the waiting room, guys. You know, we always do a waiting room before we start the class. It's just to give enough time for other students to join. So let's start with this. If you want to just stay with me into the waiting room, remember, guys, that you are going to get my UID on the next screen. Okay, so just 1 second. So guys, how are you? Truly sorry for yesterday. Yesterday we weren't able to streaming because in my area there was an outage. Okay, and right now, as you see, I have to move to a family house in another part of the country, actually in a town very close to my city. And now I'm streaming from here because the outage was a little bit hard. Okay, so how are you guys? Thank you, Basti. I hope you have also an excellent, a very good Christmas. And right now, let's start, or let's play a simple game, okay? Of course, I got a lot of games here, but let me play one of the games that I downloaded lately. That could be a very good game, okay? Well, in the screen you are seeing the different games I got from you guys. And I'm a little bit curious about Bomberman, so I will be able to do it or made it to any level. So let's play Bomberman, guys. If you want to access, remember that in the UID you can see my UID just next here, so you can search for this room. You will be able to play with me just in case you want it, okay? I see, so Basti Soriano is telling me that he has a Spanish code, but it's not working. I will try. Let me see. What happened, guys, is that most of the codes that I'm going to provide are limited codes. That means that after 15 people claim the code, probably you won't be able to claim it anymore. And most of the people of the minicamp in English watch like the minicamp after the class, but in Spanish, a lot of players watch live the streaming. So as soon as I release the code, most of the times, like 10 minutes or up to 1 hour later, you won't be able to climb the code. So If you weren't able to claim the code, it's probably because it's already expired by them, okay? Probably they already used it. Hi everyone, how are you, Duck? Welcome to the class. I see that you're coming very early in the morning, guys, okay? So, as you see, this game is created by... Give me a second, I'm just open the prints menu. Alright, so, this map is created by... Talent Berna. You can see the UID just in the top, and I think it's a very well coded and advanced map, okay? So what you got to do here, you have to actually place some bombs here, as any bomberman game, and you have to just continue and try to finish the map, because you are going to have like different levels, and apart from the levels, you are going to have some part about this is that you are going to have bosses. Okay, I was able to survive. That was a little tricky. Alright, we made it. We killed one of them. Okay, we have another player. I hope that player is not going to kill me. Because, you know, as this map is kind of different, most of the players think that we are fighting. As you see here, he almost killed himself. Alright. So I have to continue going, and I have to kill all the monsters in this scenario. Okay, I'm not really able to see what you're telling me right now. I don't understand, but just give me a second. Duck quacking, what are you meaning with that? Oh, I see. Yeah. You mean, I always thought that was Pac-Man, actually, Basti. You know, it's a small Pac-Man. Oh. He almost get killed. Alright, let's try to complete this part just by hitting it here. And remember, guys, we are just only starting the waiting room. In a little bit, we are going to start the class just at 6:50, okay? People who didn't read my rules at my Discord. Alright, yeah, that's true. Well, a lot of players doesn't like to read, and that's not the best way, but it's how most of the players are going to behave. They actually don't read any kind of part in the game, so that's why I always advise you to get short descriptions for your game. Okay, so I was able to complete this level. Next we are going to move to the other one, that is going to be this one, the one with lava. That is a little bit harder than the other, okay? I'm not sure, but I think that the gold is the part that I can destroy. For me, this was set up a little bit different, but it changed some graphics and many words after the update. This changed a little bit, and it's a little bit confused. But originally, it was different, so it was clearer to know which part is the gold and which. Oh my god! I almost get killed. I forgot to do a little check because I didn't know that the monster can survive that. It seems that these monsters are a little bit powerful than the others. Okay. Seems that this monster is a little bit powerful than the others. Okay. Do this. Let's try to see if this works. Yeah, very good. Come in, friends. Alright. Yes, I was able to kill him. Alright, yeah, if you hear a lot of noise, guys, it's probably because I'm in a rural area. So right now, as I mentioned before, and as I was showing you before, I'm in like a town. So right now it's like, I don't know how they call this animal in English, but it's like a bird that makes a lot of sound, okay? But let me do a double check. Let me do a double check on the streaming because I weren't able to hear it. Just 1 second. Guys, it's probably because I'm in a rural... Yeah, are just birds that are around. Once more, if you want me, I can show you. I'm located in a rural area. So probably the sound that you're hearing are just animals. that are just around here. So on here you can find like small crocodiles. Well, yeah, they are not called as crocodiles. They are just called pavillas, but they are very similar to a crocodile. But it's like this size. So you can find a lot of birds. You can find a lot of insects, and of course cats and things like that are just from the town around. Okay, so let's continue with the waiting room. Let me put the chat here. So, welcome Kenzie, how are you? Welcome to the English class. Oh, okay, I almost killed myself. So yeah, that's why you can hear a lot of sounds, a lot of animal sounds related. Truly sorry for that, guys. As I mentioned before, yesterday I got in my area the internet outage, so there is no internet at all. Okay, so the best way that I found to be able to create the class and do the class with you guys was to move to another area, to move to a familiar house, just in a nearby town. Okay, I was able to do it. I only left one monster here, I think. Yeah. And GG, we done this game. Okay, we are going to have different levels. I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to do it or yeah. To complete the level, okay, I cannot enter here. Oh yeah, I was able to enter. Oh, come on. Don't move. It's very hard to enter here. Nope. Alright. No, well. That was actually not expected for me. Alright. Oh, see, so those monsters are just throwing me bombs. So that's why I died very hard right now. Alright guys, so we have already 6:15, so I wanted to just show you the final level finish, but we are going to see that later. Remember guys, once more I'm going to show you the UID and also the level, not the level, the player name for this specific map. That is an amazing map. I really like it guys. So now guys, we are going to start the class, okay? So once more, the UID for this one, I'm going to put it into the chat, is 145450880, okay? That's the actual UID number for this map, okay? So how are you guys? For those that are just coming, welcome. As you see, I'm not in home right now. I have to move to another area because in my home there was a big outage and I wasn't able to do the streaming yesterday, so truly sorry for that. But today we will be able to play. Now let me see if the full screen cam is working fine. I think it's not working the best because it's going to have like a part around this area that is going to be cut off. So welcome guys, let me see who is there. I see that here is also Kenji, so welcome for all of you that are in the chat. Welcome Doc and Pam. And Merry Christmas for all of you. I know, guys, that today is Christmas in your end, so I hope you can have a very good Christmas with all your family or friends, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay? So, Kenzie is telling me, did you ever seen somebody named as some Chinese or Japan that is super good at mini words? Well, I have seen a lot of people with Chinese or Japanese names very good at mini words. I think you are being sarcastic, right? Yes, it seems that we got an update for MiniWord, but I haven't checked it yet. Okay, guys? So, let's start with the class as always. Let me open the presentation right here. Just one moment, I'm going to open this one. And as always, I'm just going to tell you very quick what we got to do on this presentation. So guys, for today, we are going to cover the final part of Winter Games. We are already in the class number 6. If you are new, probably you are going to be a little bit, you are not going to understand all the content because probably we are going to be too ahead in the content in comparison of the one that you are going to start with. Don't worry guys, if you are new, just check the previous videos in the channel. We have a lot of content, and this is the class number 6. So we have 6 videos before this one explaining what we are going to do. But in resume, our minicamp is an event that is going to just take place every month. And every month we are going to learn to create a different game. Okay, guys? The game that we are going to learn today is winter games. It's not a game genre like almost all of all the previous minicamps. This time we are creating something related with winter games. Okay, so games like Sky, games like a snowball fight, or creating your own small snowman are going to be the games that you can create. But the one I teaching, the one I already teach most of the minicamp is a snowball fighter. So we are going to continue with that. And remember, minicamp in this event, you learn with me by 3 weeks. After the 3 weeks, you are going to create your own game and you are going to participate. Just 1 second. Let's wait until that vehicle moves far away from here. Okay, just 1 second, guys. And I think now it's far away, so we will be able to continue, okay? So guys, that's how it works for the minicamp. And also, guys, remember that after the 6 days, after we complete the 6 days, yes, the 6 classes and the 3 weeks, you will be able to participate creating your own game, and you are going to compete with other players, with your partners, with the other students, and you can win different prizes just by participating. In the screen, you are seeing the prizes. As you see, we got an excellent award that is going to be up to 8 people. This is just for the game that is going to be the best game. Remember that we are competing also with the students from the other minicamps, so the China minicamp, the Vietnam minicamp, the Thailand minicamp, the Portuguese minicamp, and the Spanish minicamp, okay? When I mean Spanish and English, there's not like a simple country like the other minicamps. This is more related with all the people that speaks Spanish, that speaks Portuguese, and that speaks English, okay? So the second prize is the best learning award. This is one of the easiest one for me. And for winning this, you only need to create a game in which you actually add all the different dynamics and features that I'm going to teach you how to do. For this, you have up to 16 people to win this one. And then we got the most creative award, guys. Okay, so how it works for the most creative award, you only need to create a very creative map, just as the name says. But very important, this creative part of the map needs to get some innovation, but this innovation needs to be based on the gameplay. And also it needs to be highly playable, very enjoyable. And overall, the good map experience needs to be very good, okay? Then we got the best progress award, okay? So what is a best progress award, guys? The best progress award is just for all of you that are not developers or are developers level 1 in Multiverse. And with this, you are going to want also a prize, okay? So if you see and you check, this is up to 30 people. That means that is the easiest one to win. And also, if you are not developer and you won this one, you are going to get a direct invitation from the team to join to the developer program, okay? And finally, but not least, we got the shortlisted award, okay? For this is just going to be related for all of you that create a map that is going to be related with winter games, okay? So that's very important, guys. If you don't have a winter game on this, you are not going to be able to participate in the minicamp. So be very careful with that, guys. You have to create a winter game map, okay? Now, in the screen, you are going to see the different dates, okay? So this is very important, guys, okay? Oh, okay, I see. So I'm not showing the screen. All right, let's coming back, okay? And those are the prizes, guys, that you can win, as you see in the screen right now. And take a time to read, to read this. While we wait for that, you can take a screenshot. I'm just going to put some music on, so the streaming is going to be a little bit more enjoyable, okay? So now, guys, in the screen you see the prices that I mentioned before, and in the screen right now you are going to see the dates that you have to take in account when we are going to create this kind of map, okay, guys? So in the screen you are seeing right now that actually we can submit your map starting today, and you have up to the 30th of December to submit your maps. Remember, we are going to announce the winners in January, around the 3rd of January and the 5th of January, okay? So please, guys, pay attention to that. Be sure that you take notes of it. Remember that you have to submit your map on time, so be sure that you be able to submit your map at least one day before, okay? So I forgot to put the chat once more here, so let me just switch to the chat screen. And I see that some of you already come here, so 1 second. Yeah, not all the mirror people get the update, but don't worry, it's like just the first the beta people get the update, but you're supposed to receive it in one or max in what week, okay, so guys, but most of the times, like the next 3 or 2 days, you are going to get the new version, okay? Can you use Grammarly? I actually use it. 2 is a very useful app. Oh yeah, but remember, Chinese version of MiniWord is going to be a little bit different about the over the CC feature, or a MiniWord that is the one that we use, okay? Alright, so it seems that Kenji actually speaks Chinese, so good to know. Basi Soriano says that Popo gender is they, them. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Alright, and why is that Ascension? Just let me know and I will be able to provide you a little bit more information about that, just to be sure that you will be able to participate. MiniWord HQ, so that means high quality or HD MiniWord? I'm not sure about that. Oh, okay, so it's just the name for the company. Alright, didn't know that. Now guys, very important here, on the screen you are going to see the different rewards that we are going to have during this class. So remember, depending on the amount of people, we will be able to release different amount of rewards, okay? So guys, you can join if you are not already into the Discord channel, and here we have a lot of content. Also, you are going to find a way to talk with other people like you, to find someone help you out to create your map, okay? So what does it mean? That means that if you want to have, or you need to have a modeler or a programmer to create your map, and you actually need, I don't know, a critic to critique your map, you can search people there. So that's very useful. Also guys, you can ask questions. Not only me, but the moderators and also your other friends, the people that are just in the channel, can work with you and can just give you some basic answers. So I highly advise you to get into the Minicamp official Discord. And as always, if you find some links, or if you find a tool that I'm going to use to edit that you don't know how you can get it, or you don't know the link for it, just check the description for the video. In any of my videos, I submit the different links that you can use to access to the different tools for the content, okay? Also, don't forget, we got that information into the Discord channel, and also we have more tools in the Discord channel. So I highly advise you to get into the Discord channel, okay? Then we have the objectives, and the objectives for this class is going to be to create a downgrade blocks. That's going to be the first. Remember that yesterday we create the upgrade system. This is just going to be almost the same, but we're going to do it in the other way. That means that we are going to do the vice versa triggers for this one, okay? And then we got the combat stage triggers. That's going to be the final part. When we finish the combat stage triggers, you will have a completely playable game. Everything that you add apart from that depends on you. And just in case, we are going to have a question and answers part, so I will be able to resolve most of your questions, okay? Now guys, let's start with this. Let me explain a little bit more about this. Remember that we are in the week number 3, class number 6, the final class for the minicamp related with winter, okay? Now, also it's very important this, remember that starting today you can start submitting your map, and we are going to have the contest and the hour week, okay? Alright, so let's continue and let's start with downgrade blocks, okay? So for this, guys, I will need from you that just open MiniWord, okay? Once you are in MiniWord, you have to close everything that you have and just go to your maps, and let's start editing the map that we were creating for the minicamp, okay? So remember, this specific function like upgrade and downgrading blocks, it's something that you probably can use for another games, okay? Remember that it's a useful trigger and you only need to just get the attention. You can use it for whatever map you want it. It's a good way, an easy way to do it, okay? So let me, before continuing, put my glasses on because I need to see the chat and it's like pretty far away, you know? Guys, I don't see too much. I'm actually not the best at seeing far away. I don't know what you call it in English, but it's when you can know see very far away from where you are. Okay, so welcome, paid gamer. Welcome to the class, and good morning also to your end, okay? So, guys, what we are going to do is you are going to move just to your map, and in your map you are going to open the developer tools. In the developers tools, you are going to have different options. So you are going to move just to trigger options, okay? When you are in triggers, you have like all the content that we made before, okay? And in this content, you are going to move to downgrade blocks, okay? So what you are going to find on here is nothing because this folder is completely empty, but we are going to start to fill all the content here, okay? So the first thing that we are going to do is just to create a new trigger, okay? So just hit here to create a new trigger in the yellow button, and once you did it, or once you made it, sorry, you are going to get this information in the screen. That means that you can place a name for it. The name that I'm going to use is down block level 0, okay? Remember, we are going to create different levels, so that's important. Naming or tagging the different triggers that you are going to use is going to be very useful, because at the end you are not going to be like kind of a lose, because you know, when you got a lot of triggers and you didn't name it or you didn't give a tag for it, probably you are going to be completely loose after you try, okay? So that's very important, guys. Put the level 0 in it. Once you got it, we are going to start by creating a new event, okay? So the event for this one is very similar to the one that we used before. It's player and click on block. That means that when you add it, you are going to have any player uses a block, okay? The conditions for this one are going to be very simple, guys. So in the previous one, in the upgrade, we check if the player has enough blocks for snow on the inventory. The second thing that we test if is the player has snow, well, the block that he selects is snow. And the third one is check if the player has in the hand the upgrade item, okay? That's like all the conditions for the previous one. For this one, we only have to use one of them. So the easiest way to do it is just go to your upgrade blocks, select any of them, and just copy the first one, okay? You copy the first one, you paste it, okay? And as you see, you are going to have different information that we are going to change later, but it's almost the same information. And the other condition is the one that says type of item held in the hand. You copy that one and you paste it right here down below in the blocks, okay? So you are going to have those two conditions, but we need to set up those conditions. So first, we are going to set up the snow, okay? So click on it, open the first frame, and you are going to have one that says template library that allows you to choose a block. In this one, you need to choose the floor, okay? So remember this, guys, you're not going to use the floor. For this one, we are going to do a different part that upgrades blocks. So that means that if you have a block on level 1 and you use the downgrade button on it, it's going to disappear and it's going to give you back that block, okay? So that's the first thing that we are going to do, okay? So on this, you need to select the first level of your wall blocks, the blocks that you are using for pulling the walls. Okay, so just select that one and select confirm. Now that you got it, you are going to have something like the thing that I have in the screen, like this specific corner, this specific condition. And then we are going to just move a little bit down and we are going to select the next condition. The next condition is going to look something similar, but in here you have the upgrade item. What the only thing that we need to do is to change that item. So just hit on that one, select template, library, consumables, custom, and in custom you are going to select the item that you use to downgrade your blocks. In my case is this one, the one that looks like fire. So just select that one and guys, you have already the conditions. Okay, so as you see, it's not that much complicated. It's going to be much easier than the other ones. And now we need to set up the conditions. Okay, so sorry, the actions. The first action that we are going to add is just to give back the player the block, but in item. Okay, so as it's going to be an item, we need to use the next action. Okay, so you go and click and add a new action, and in the actions that you are going to add, you are going to select player, and in player you are going to select add an item. Okay, it's this one, the one that you are seeing in the screen, and you are going to have the next options available for you. The first one is to choose how many blocks you are going to give to the player. You are going to choose just one, so select an input and just put the number 1 on it. Okay, then we got the item that we are going to give to the player. So in this case we are going to choose once more the block that we are using directly, that is the basic block. So you have to open here in template library, and then you are going to scroll down and you are going to select custom, and you are going to select your wall block. Okay, so when you select your wall block, you are going to have something like this, and you have to select player in triggers events. Okay, now you have to give as always, or to show the players as always, some feedback, so the player is going to have like the information by first hand. Okay, so Merry Christmas to Pete. Merry Christmas for all of you that are in the chat. I see that you are sending me Merry Christmas, so Merry Christmas for all of you guys. So Dap fan says hi. In Vietnam is 6 o'clock in the night. So yes, I know it. In my end is 6:35 on the morning. In Philippines, but you have Shanghai time. Okay. So good morning, 39, a new yen mine. Welcome also Basti and T Blanks. Merry Christmas also for you. And later I'm going to give you the good wishes for Christmas. Okay. Now, guys, you have to give and a specific way to show the player, or you have to use a specific way to show the player the feedback. Remember, if the player doesn't know what is happening, probably it's going to be a little bit confused with your map. Okay, so the easiest way that you can do it is just move back from downgrade blocks to upgrade blocks. Select any of the previous triggers inside upgrade blocks block folder. So, and just copy and paste. Copy the first one that says players make a sound and paste it. Then on your new trigger. Then go back again to upgrade blocks and copy the action that is going to be to show a text to all the players, or to that player in specifically. So just select copy, paste, and when you got it, you are going to have the two options. Okay, so the only thing that you need to do is to change the sounds for the first action. So in the previous one, I don't remember which one you have, but in here I'm going to choose player mark 11. Okay, so here are the sound. That is the sound that I'm using. As you see, it's something related it's not like something that is very loud. It's something that is going to be very moderate, but the players will know that something is happening definitely. Okay, so I'm using mark 11 in case you want to use them, same I use. And then in the text you have here upgrade blocks. So what you have to do is just select here in the last box, and you have to select input, and you are going to change all the text inside for downgrade blocks. You can use whatever you want to use, but you need to let the players know that they are downgrading the blocks that they are selecting. Okay, and finally we need to add an action. The action that we are going to add is block, and in there you have one that says remove block. Okay, when you select remove blocks, you are going to have something like this that says remove block, clear blocks on event position. So you select that one, and that's it. With this one, we have the first level for our downgrade. Remember, always the first level for upgrade and downgrade is going to be kind of different to the others, but it's not too much difference. The difference is going to be only one action. So we are going to do the next thing. We are going to copy, paste, and the name for the new one, you probably got something like a downgrade block 0 in the new one. So you are going to just delete the last number and you are going to put the number 1 on it. And once more, this is going to be a little bit different. So in the previous one, we delete the block if there is no lower tier or level blocks, okay? Now we are going to actually replace the block, okay? For the previous level one. So on here, we need to select which block we are going to select and which block is the block that we are going to give to the player or to replace in the floor, okay? So we have to select first the level 2 block. So for this, just open the first condition, select template library, and then select custom. On there, you select the level 2 block. On here, I got the level 2. Remember, I put a plus for each level on here. So I'm just selecting the level 2 block. When I got it, I select confirm, and I got in the conditions like level 2 snow. And down below, you are going to keep the same actions, the same conditions, but you are going to delete the last action, okay? So previously, you got this one that says clear blocks in even position. So in this one, you are going to delete it. So just hit delete. And when you got deleted, you are going to add a new condition. So instead of clear the block, this time we are going to replace it. So just add a new condition, select block, select on here, you are going to select replace block, okay? It's this one that you see on the screen. And when you got it, you're going to have the different options here available for you. So the first part or the first box, you need to choose where it's going to take place. So select event position. In the second one, we are going to select which block we are going to place, the new one, okay? So we are going to take the previous one that was the level before that. That means that is the level 2, and we are going to replace it by the block of your walls level 1. So I got it right here. I just select here and select snow level 1. And that's it, guys. So with this, you already got the base for creating the next level blocks, okay? So if you realize this, guys, as you see in the screen, it's going to be easier. It's going to be a lot easier than the previous one. The only thing that you need to do is to copy and paste, okay? So just like copy, paste, and we are going to replace the name. So if we get a level 1 here, we are going to change this for level 2, okay? Now, the only thing that you need to do from now on is just to change the condition for the block that you want to downgrade. And in the last action, you need to change for the new block. So in this case, we are going to select the level 3 block. That in my case is this one that says ice, but with 3 plus signs on here. So you select that one on the condition, and then you just scroll down below and select the last action. And in the last action, you are going to select the new block as we are downgrading the block. On here, we are going to select the next level that is going to be level 2 block and select confirm. Okay, guys, once you select confirm, you are going to have the next level. And finally, I have 4 levels. So for the last level, I just copy and paste once more, select in here. Of course, I'm going to delete the one that I just created because I already got it created here. So just rename it down block level 3. You are going to put just the next level. So you have previously you got on here level 2. So now you're going to select the level 3. Okay, guys, and just change the information again. So previously you got the level 3 here, so now you're going to select the level 4. In my case, this is going to be super ice. That's going to be the level 4 wall, the level 4 block for the walls. And down below in the actions, I'm going to select the level 3 block. And that's it, okay? So guys, very important. If you got more than 4 levels, because I only placed 4 levels, if you got like 7 levels, 8 levels, 9 levels, the only thing that you need to do is to change that information here, and you need to copy and paste that specific trigger and just change the condition and the action, okay? So in this part, congratulations, we already finished the first part of our class, okay? So as we finish the first part of our class, I'm going to provide you the code. let me copy this and let me put it into the chat, okay? So guys, try to claim this. If you are able to, just let me know. If you find any difficult by claiming the code, I will be able to resolve that for you guys, okay guys? But please let me know. All right, so up to this part, guys, as you see, the system is kind of very easy, guys. This is like not the best and not the best. Yes, it's actually one very good, but it's not the hardest. I mean, it's not one of the hardest triggers that we have seen before. So I think you will be able to resolve it. Okay. Also, guys, let me clear the screen so you will be able to see better the code. Okay. So you were able to claim it. That means that it's working, guys. Guys, I'm just going to ask you for a second. I'm going to take some water because right now I'm starving. I'm just completely yeah, I don't have water here, so just give me 1 second, okay guys? I will come back in a little bit. Okay guys, I'm coming back. Now I'm back with you. So let me change the screen back. So I'm just going to take a little bit of water because right now I'm completely I have a lot of hunger and actually I need to drink also a little bit of water. So guys, now we already finished this part, and welcome Book Leo to the chat. Welcome also to the class. So we already finished this part, we already covered this part, and now let's continue and let's see the next part, okay? So guys, in this part we already claimed the codes and we already finished the system to upgrade and downgrade our blocks. Now the only thing that we left is the different combat stage triggers, okay? So very important guys, on here we got different options for the combat stage. So if you realize when you are playing combat stage, a lot of things are going to change in your map. First, the first thing that you are going to realize is that you can exit from your base, okay? So from the part where you start the game, remember that when we were in building scenario, we weren't able to just exit from here, we just get stuck here. But as soon as the game changed to combat stage, you will be able to completely freely move around. Another thing is that if you go outside the map, and if you are in fighting time, you are going to die. So you have to avoid to be killed by the other players just by falling into the water, okay? That's one of the parts. The other part the other interesting part is that you can do a goal on it. That means that you can go into the enemy gold and you can enter here and you can make a point, so you are going to win the game, okay? So we are going to learn the different one by one, and also another important thing is that in your inventory you are going to have the hero that you choose with the different weapons and skills, okay? So we are going to start with that one, okay? So just give me a minute. What I'm going to do is that we are going to open here once more our developer tools, and we are going to move to combat stage files, okay? So combat stage is very easy, guys. What you have to do is just to copy all the different tools that you have here in inventory vault, okay? So if you see the same trigger, so the difference is that you are going to have like different values for each one. So the easiest way to do it is just by copying here, copy, and to paste it into inventory combat, okay? That's it. Once you got it, you will have to replace the different information here, okay? So as you see, it's almost the same. The only difference is going to be that we got an extra part here, okay? So let's start by editing, okay? So once you copy, you are going to go on here, okay? And probably you already got this one created, so if you already got it, just delete it, okay? Delete it and copy and paste and rename it. Remember, we are going to copy the inventory vault, okay? So just hit and copy and rename it, and the name that you are going to put on there is inventory combat, okay? So that's very important, guys. Inventory combat is going to handle, as the name says, the inventory for combat, okay? It's very descriptive. You don't have to go deeper on that one, okay? So the first part, you are going to keep it like it is, okay? It's going to tell you something like this. So if you place the right information, that on here is inventory 1, inventory 2, and inventory 3, is going to work. Now, the important thing that we are going to do is that after we erase all the different items for the player, you are going to scroll down and you are going to select the first action, okay? So the first action, and that says, is item setup as an inventory 1. And in here, if you select the previous one, if you select inventory vault, you used to have snow, upgrade block, and downgrade block. For this one, we need to change that a little bit. So in the first one, you are going to change, you are going to select function library, and you are going to select player and player private variable, okay? So what is private variable? Remember, private variables are the variables that are going to be different for each player, and global variables are going to be the same for all of them at the same time. Things like gravity are global variables, and things like the player life are single variables, I mean local variables, okay? Or private variables. So we are going to select that one. Once we got it, it's going to ask us to select a player. So we are going to select players in trigger event, and we are going to select this variable that we already created. Welcome to the chat, DGI. Oh yeah, DGI, I think that's the name that you are going to use for that one. Now, sorry guys, I need you to expand here. And what you are going to do is just open variable library, and on here you are going to have different options. There is one that says player hero weapons, okay? You are going to select that one, hero weapons, and when you select hero weapons, you are going to have it like this, okay? So that's going to be the first one. That is right here, remember? We just copy and paste. Sorry, no, that one is this one, okay? For the next one, we are going to do just the same thing. So on here, you are going to have an item. You are going to delete that. You are going to keep the first square, the first box as it is. But the second one, you are going to change it. You are going to select function library, player private variable, item type, okay? And when you got it, you are going to change the information. So on here, it's going to ask you to select once more which variable we are going to use. On here, we are going to use hero skill, okay? Remember, those variables were already created when we were in the second or the sixth class. So you don't have to worry for creating it again, okay? If you don't have this variable, try to search which one you put on it. But in my case, it's going to be hero skill, okay? This is one of the variables that is going to handle which item the player is going to have in the hands, okay? And finally, in the last one, you are going to have a different item here. So just select template library, and you are going to select on here your snowball, okay? But very important, guys, the snowball that you're going to select is the one that we create for the game for the previous one. And very important, the things that change here are going to be in the future the amount, okay? So just keep it like it is. And right now for the next part, we got like this that says like give add building blocks of amount of this block to the player. We need to change that, okay? So for changes that in our inventory, we need to select first the first one that says change building blocks amount of this one, okay? And the thing that you are going to change is just the number, okay? So in here you have something like this, if I'm not wrong. So you are going to change it. You are going to replace just the first one. You are going to click on input, and you are going to click on 1, okay? So this is going to give 1 block to the player. The second one, you are going to keep it like it is just like we were getting before. But the third one, you have to change here. So in here you have a 1. Instead of the 1, you are going to select function library. You are going to select player, and in player you need to select the amount of blocks that we are going to give to the player, so or items, okay? So we select player's private variable, and once we got it, we are going to just get some variables in here. So you are going to select player max balls. That is going to handle the amount of bullets that the player has, okay? Can have. And that's it. You add it. And now you already got this finished, okay? So you already have the inventory for the players. So that means that your players, when they change to the combat season or to the combat stage, they will be able to have all the inventory. Very important, guys, just like this. If you got any kind of check mark on it, you need to take it out. You need to just remove it. So just click on it to remove the check mark. And be sure that it doesn't have any kind of check mark, okay? Now, guys, apart from this one, we are going to have the next one that is going to be to create, not to create, to have a gold, okay? So, check this, guys. In the inventory, you are going to see all the information for the inventory, but if you check the screen and you check all in detail, you are going to see next that we have a gold, okay? What is a goal? Goal is where you do the score when you get an extra point when you actually access to that area, okay? It's just the script or the trigger that allows you to score the point to be able to win the game, okay? So we are going to do that one, okay? Just to remind you, or let's do this, I'm going to once more play the game once more just to show you how it works, okay? Just to remind you guys, just a refresher, to be able or to be sure that you are going to understand how it works, okay? So on here you got the inventory, all right? You select your hero class. As an example, I'm going to select a striker. Once you select it, you will be able to be teleported to the area. Once more, on here you have to place the blocks. You cannot exit. If you try to exit, you are going to be teleported back. And remember, guys, we just made this system the day before yesterday, or today we learned how to upgrade the blocks and how to downgrade the blocks, okay? And yeah, that's it. You have to build your defenses, so you are going to be sure that you are going to limit other team movements. When the time for building is complete, you enter in the fighter stage. That is the thing that we made, okay? So with the inventory, we made this, that the players are going to have the inventory and the passive skill working, okay? As you see it right now. And also, we have some extra features. So as an example, now you can exit from the scenario, but if you move away from the fighting area, or if you fall into the water, you are going to be killed, as you see right here. Okay, and that is going to give some extra time for the other team to try to fight your stronghold, but also you are going to have some cool options. Okay, so check this. If I shoot 2 bullets, I always will have some snowballs in the inventory to shoot, but the only way I can reload those, as you see, I don't have any kind of of bullets, so I cannot shoot. The only way is to walk by walking over the snow. If I'm not in a snow block walking, I won't be able to recharge. So check this, if I move over the snow, I will be able to reload, and I always will have some snowballs. So I can still fighting and I will be able to reload, okay? But once more, if I'm not in the snow, like I'm in the ice, as you see, I won't be able to recharge, I won't be able to reload my guns, okay? But once more, as soon as I walk over the snow, I will have this completely covered. So that's why we are going to do at the end. So the two things that left are that one and the way to win the game, okay? So if you run to the other enemy team, you need to access or enter to the goal, and once you made it, it's going to tell you gold. It's going to wait some seconds, it's going to show a screen here and a text, and then you are going to be able to win the game, okay? So as you see, that's what we are going to learn how to do right now. Apart, we already create inventory, now we are going to learn how to create the gold, okay? So very important, guys, for the gold, for be able to win the game, be sure that your players, okay, that your players are going to have this activated, okay? And you are going to open to the basic menu, you are going to go to map rules, game targets, and in game target scroll down and search for this option that says gold, okay? So in gold, you are going to define how many goals you can have before you win the game. So very important, guys, if you want just to win by one gold, what you are going to do is you are going to move this, you are going to move it to 1, okay? And that's it. So that means that when the player enters to the goal, is going to win. But if you want to have more than one goal, as an example, the player needs to score 3 goals to be able to win, what you have to do is to move the score requirement to any other number of goals, okay? But very important, if you do it, you need to be sure to teleport the player back and also to turn the base. So every time, as an example, if I put turn the base and I put a lot of goals here, okay, what we are going to see here is that the players will be able to do multiple goals, okay? So let me show you, 30 seconds to put once more. So as an example, I'm going to build very quickly because it's not going to be the focus of the things that I want to show you. I'm just spoiling here. I think I will be able to do it. Okay. So once we got inside the game, if you put more than one gold, the player will be able to do this. As you see, the player will be able to make the first goal. And yeah, of course you are going to get the chance to return and continue playing, okay? So of course, if you do that, you have to be sure that you are going to restart the game, okay? Like this. Alright, so that's it. As you see, now you can still play, attack the enemy stronghold, and you can do more goals, okay? So that depends on you guys. I highly advise you to have the same setups that I got here. Now, let's continue with the game, okay? So let me go back to the screen so you will be able to see me. Hello guys, hello back. And let's start by creating those scripts, okay? So, let's move to triggers and we are going to create a new trigger, okay guys? So select add a new trigger and the name for the new trigger, guys, is going to be gold, okay? So, literally, that's what our trigger is going to do. So we are going to use the name to be very descriptive and be very easy to know what it's going to do, okay? So first, we are going to do an action, okay? And the action is going to be player, and player enters to area. Remember that at the beginning we create an area for every one of our different scores. So we are going to use those, okay? So we are not going to create like a lot of different actions here. If we weren't doing this, that was to set up the database before the game starts in the class number 2. When we set up all these variables, we should probably have to create a lot of different triggers. For this one, as we already created that, we only need one for all the teams, okay? So the first action is going to be that one, but in the execution you are not going to select an area. Instead of that, you are going to select function library, and in function library you are going to select player private variable, okay? And on there we are going to have already created an area. The area that we are going to have, that we already got, is this one that says team original goal, okay? So on there you just select variables, and on there you have the one that says team region goal, okay? That is going to be the goal that we set up in the third or the fourth class. Now you are going to check or be sure that only is going to work when the player is in game status number 2. So how do you do that? Just hit add, select math, numerical comparison, and remember that we always got the game stages by numbers, okay? So number 0 is where you can buy some items. Number 1 is where you can put your scenario, and number 3 is when you can fight with the other players, okay? So game status, it's going to be equals to number 2, okay? That's very important. So remember, game status is a variable that we already create. Then first thing that we are going to do is to change the game status as 3, so players won't be able to continue scoring again until the game changes, okay? So that's very important, guys. We are going to do that. So how do you do that? Just select game status, and for that, as this is a variable, a number variable, we are going to change it just by scrolling down, select assigned in new actions, and you are going to select value setup, okay? So now you need to select which value we are going to change. So just in the first frame, you are going to select value, the one that says game status, and you are going to change it by game status number 3, okay? So that's the first thing. With this, only one player is going to do one score. Even if the players are very close to each other, they are going to make only one score, okay? So that's going to avoid a lot of problems. Next, we need to reduce the amount of time that is going to just to continue for this game stage. So we have to change the timer time, okay? The timer that controls the time. So you are going to hit add new one. Then we are going to scroll down and we are going to select timer. In timer, we are going to select change timer timing, okay? So once you made that, once you change the timer time, you need to select first the variable that we are going to change. Remember that we are using a variable, name it game start, to handle all the games. So we are going to use that timer, okay? And then we are going to set it up as 50. That means that first there is going to be 50 seconds for this stage. Remember, this stage is not going to last that long. It's something that we just made for make players feel that actually game is working. So just let's change that, okay? Now, when we got this, now we are going to do the small screen in the top that you see that tells the players that some players made a goal. So how do you do that? You add new action. The action is going to be to set up a character string. So you just scroll down to assign and select set up character string. Okay, that's very important, guys. We already made in the first or the second class something that handles automatically the text in the top. So just by changing one variable, you are going to have that variable with the new name, okay? So the name that we are going to use for this one is actually kind of tricky. It's different from the others because we are going to tell the game this player makes a goal, okay? But also we are going to make the player's name to just a blink, so it's going to be very impressive for the player. How do you do that? First, remember we got a specific function in text, so you select here, function, and you are going to select concatenations, guys. Concatenations is just to mix or to mesh together two different texts. So you can take as an example the player name, then the player amount of blocks that have, and then you place a custom text, and together it's going to be only one text. That's what we are going to do. So once you select the string concatenation, you are going to have two different frames in which you can put the different content, okay? So in the first one, we are going to select again string concatenations, okay? So just once more in the first frame, select strings, and you are going to select string concatenation. So you are going to have in total 3 different texts that we are going to connect. So in the first frame that comes from the second concatenation, you are going to open that frame and you are going to put the next information. First, you need to put the color. In my case, it's going to be green. Remember, pound or hashtag, or I don't know how you call it in your language, because in English this symbol is hashtag for networks, and it's pound for normal numbers. Okay, so use pound and the letter T in uppercase. Remember, you need to use the letter of whatever color you have. As an example, if you want to put a yellow on it, just put the uppercase Y. If you want to put a red on it, just put uppercase R. And then you are going to put another pound, another one of those, and you are going to put a lowercase b, okay? So lowercase b is going to be blink, uppercase b is going to be blue, okay? So this one is going to make the next text. The text that we put next to it is going to be blinking, and that's what we are going to do. You're going to see that it seems completely empty, but it's not empty, okay? So in the second part of the second concatenation, you are going to put the player name. So just select function, player, and player name. So right now it's going to make blink the player name, but it's not going to tell anything to the game because we didn't put any content here. So just open the last one, the third one, put input. And once you are in input, you are going to use this one, okay? This one is once more like the tag that we use for changing the text. And on this one, you are going to put an N, a lowercase n. A lowercase n is closing all the content before. So if we previously put any kind of color or any kind of effect like blinking, right now with the N, you are going to close that, okay? And then we are going to put what your description. In my case, I put it's gold. That means that the players in the screen are going to see just that information. And now we can make a sound, okay? So remember, it's going to be very cool to show the players like some feedback, so just add sound. That thing that you are hearing right now is another animal that is around this area. It's a big beard. But I don't remember how it's being called. What happened is that around this area there is a lot of small lakes where you can find a lot of animals. But yeah. Okay. Alright, you don't have to tell us that, but it's okay if you want to share that with you. Share that with us on Facebook. But okay. Alright, so now guys, next step, we are going to make a sound for the player, so the player will know that what is happening. So we are going to put a good sound for him and for all the other players. Okay, so what we are going to do is to hit here in add, we are going to scroll down until sound effects, and in sound effects we are going to select player turn on sound effects. Okay, and the sound effect that we are going to use, or that if you want to use the same as me, you are going to have like different sounds, but if you want to use the same as I just select player environment and select environment number 2. That's a sound that is very similar to something when you score a goal, like this. Is the sound that you are hearing right now. Alright, perfect. And now we got this covered. Now we are going to add another couple of things for the feedback. So first, we need to tell the player that scores the goal, like, hey, you scored a goal, literally, okay? So what you are going to do is just select here in add. You are going to scroll down until it's the part that says plier, and you are going to select display text to applier, okay? And when you select that one, you are going to have the next options. Pliers in trigger event text shows is gold, okay? Gold plus one, that's going to be the one. So select that one, just select that one, and just put the name on it. It's G, gold, and the number plus and the one, okay? That means that it's going to do another score for the plier and just keep it like it is. Then, apart from the plier, remember that this is only going to show the text to the plier. We are going to display the chat for all the other pliers telling, hey, that plier scores a gold, so, you know, the pliers will be able to say, hey, congratulations, you made it, okay? So, now what you got to do is just to add here plier group. You are going to select that one, and you are going to select display chat info to the pliers. On there you can choose to which pliers. So on here on the first score you are going to select a function plier group and all pliers, and on here we are going to do a string concatenation. So just use the same string concatenation that we made before. String concatenation. You use the same content that I used before. So as an example, a B on here to make the text link. On here you select plier name, and in here you select the description. Also remember, if you activate a part that you can use for the different translation for the different languages, just use it right here, okay? So as you see in the screen, I have that option. I already translated. But for some reason, for some booking many words, when you just change the screen, as an example, from Spanish to English, that's going to be deleted. But I already made it. You can make it too. That's up to you. Okay. And then after that, you can do the next thing. Okay. And this is very important. A trick that is going to be for make the game more enjoyable is to give enough time for the players to celebrate. So something I did is just to give 5 seconds to actually give the point to the player. And why I did that, so the player will be able to freely move around the scenario. In as an example, just move, celebrate, and just let the other players know, like, hey, I make a score, I made a goal to you. The same team is going to be able to celebrate with the player for 5 seconds, and then the game is going to be restarted. So the trick here is to put a wait. I don't know if 5 seconds is too much, but you can select that. So just scroll down, select timer, and in timer you are going to select waiting time, okay? So waiting time is going to be 5 seconds in my situation. You can use also 3 or 4. I highly recommend it not to do it for more than 5 seconds because it's going to be too much. And then after that you can perform the next action. So how we are going to actually score the point, give the point in game, okay? So for most of the times I use scripts for this, but as you want to work with triggers, this is a trick that I'm going to teach you, okay? So on here, you already in the second or the first class made this, that is just next to the team score. You put this block and you put an area here, okay? So what we are going to do is to delete whatever block is in this area, and then we are going to put a lithium block. Now it's called celestium, but before it was called lithium, and that's going to activate that code, okay? That specific point. So first we are going to clear the block on there. So for doing that, just select here blocks. You are going to select a remove block. And when you select remove block, you are going to clear all the blocks in the area, or the location is going to be function library, pliers, and pliers private variable. On there you are going to select a location. The only location that is available for you is the one that says team location scored, okay? Remember, we already create those variables before, and that's it. Once you got it, you are going to have that option. And now just when we delete that, now we are going to create the right block. So select block, create the block, okay? And when you create the block, you are going to create Celestium block, okay? Celestium block, once more, was used to be called or name it as lithium block. And now it's just the same, but with another name. So we need to select that one, click on it, select template library, custom and functional, and it is going to be the first one. That's the one that is going to give you scored for any kind of block. Okay, it works like the generator. It works the same way. Okay, so you are going to select that one. So it's the first one. Don't confuse yourself. I just was doing a double check if there is any other block that you can use, but for now, don't confuse. Let's use the first one. Okay. And the area where you are going to create it once more is function library, pliers, private area or location, and you are going to select once more the one that says team location. That is the only option that we create from the minicamp. If you have got more options, probably it's because you did another couple of triggers. And that's it. Right now, your players will be able to score the point, okay? So I'm going to take the time. I'm going to do next. I'm going to give you another code. So please go ahead into the chat. I just put it and just copy and claim the code, okay? Also, let me read you in the chat. Let me read all the different things that you put in the chat. And they even says that you eat a taco. Okay, that's very similar to, I don't know guys if you were able to or you heard about South Park. There is a specific chapter where Cartman eats tacos with a lot of spicy food. So that reminds me that chapter. I don't know why, but it was very fun. Now guys, did you have any kind of question, guys, about the things that we just learned? So if you have any kind of questions, guys, just let me know. So I will be able to resolve that right now, okay? So very important, guys, try to resolve all the questions, because remember, this is going to be the last class of the month. So if you got any specific thing that you don't know how it's working, I probably will be able to help you out, okay? Now, 1 second here. All right, so let's continue with the class. 7:20, so yeah, we will have enough time to do a questions and answers part, okay? So guys, next part, another problem, Dave, and it's a pleasure. Now guys, let's continue and let's do the next part. The next part is going to be related to out of the arena, okay? So most of the times before the previous games, I always give you like a specific script that will kill the players if they get out from the room, if they get out from the playable area. But I wanted to show you how it's made also in triggers, just in case you want to use triggers. I know guys that a lot of you are like over confused with scripts, and others cannot use actually triggers for some reason in some devices. When you copy and paste that, you are going to find that actually it's not allowing you to continue. It's going to be stuck. So that's why I want to teach you this. So first thing, remember that in the second or the third class, we create a specific function, okay? Or not a specific function, it was just to create some areas in this scenario. So let me switch to developer mode once more here. Just give me a second, something appears on the screen. And when you use the different areas, you are going to see that we already have one that is being called a full area, okay? So guys, the full area is the yellow one, the one that you see on the screen, and notice that is covering all the playable area, okay? So all the part where the players can play with, it's going to be covered by the yellow part. And please notice that also is covering this hail. So if you get under the area, if you get outside the area or over the area, you are going to be killed. That is a way to assure that the players are going to stay in the playable area, and also that the players can push each other away from the arena. So that's something that you can add some extra features for, okay? So how do you do this? Once you got it, or remember the name of it, in my case it's being called as a full area, okay? Now, what you got to do is that we need to create a new trigger the trigger name is going to be out of the arena. Okay, that's the first thing that you need to do. You need to place a name for it, as always. And once you got it, you are going to close and you are going to scroll down to events. Okay, guys? So in events, we are going to add a new event. The event is going to be player. In player, you are going to move to the one that says player lives area. Okay, once you add a player lives area, we are going to just select and open the first part, and you are going to select the part that says when the player enters any or leaves any, and in the first frame, in the first box, you are going to select actually the area that you created. Okay, so let's just open that, select choose area, and in choose area you are going to have this dialog or this UI in which you can choose which area. So you are going to select the full area that you use to cover all the scenario. Okay, now guys, very important, I see that you are doing some emojis into the chat. So now you need to select or to put a condition that this is going to be only executed when we are in the combat stage. So how do you do that? Just go to the previous one. Remember, we created gold already, so just copy, paste it, and that's it. You are going to copy and paste the condition. Now, and the actions for this one are going to be very easy, okay? Remember, first thing that we need to do is just to kill the player, okay? So as we are going to kill the player, we also are going to get some feedback. Once more, I want to be very specific on this. Guys, if you create some kind of thing that is going to kill the players, that is going to move the players, you need to always give some feedback to them. Otherwise, players are going to feel that your game is having some bugs, okay? So remember this, guys. Imagine that you are playing not anywhere, you are playing another game, and you are jumping in a platform, okay? And in some part, you need to jump in a platform, but you put like a limit on it, okay? So if players jump on there and they are going to be killed, they are going to believe that actually, if they didn't see like a damage or something, that your game is failing. But otherwise, if they actually jump in, and you put an animation like he's being hit by a lizard, or as an example, is hitting a wall and is going to be pushed back, and then you are going to kill the player, you are going to make an effect that is like it's like breaking or something, and then you put a text that says you get away from the limits. The player will know for sure that that is a rule in your game, so that's what we have to do here, okay? Don't kill the players just by killing, just always explain to them why they are going to be killed, okay? So in this case, we are going to add the first action. The first action, of course, is going to be to kill the players. So just scroll down to players. You are going to select defeat players. That's going to be the first option, okay? And when you select defeat players, you are going to select which player is going to be defeated. In my case, in my scenario, is going to be, well, just the player in trigger event, okay? Now, we are going to add a sound, okay? We are not going to put that much like effects or feedback as I mentioned before, because it's a multiplayer game and well, we just need to add some actions, but we are going to add a sound and a text, okay? So the first one is going to be the sound. The sound that we are going to use for kill the player is the next one. So just hit here. You are going to scroll down, and you are going to scroll down until the part that says sound effects, and you are going to select turn sound effects on players, okay? When you select that one, you are going to just set up that. So the only thing that you need to change actually is the actual sound. The one I use when the players are going to be killed is Mark 14, is the one that you are hearing right now, okay? So let's hear it again. You can use the same I'm using right now. And also remember this, guys. I'm not going to show you this because I already teach you that on our escape map. But remember that you can use different sounds. The trick that I show you earlier about how you can do that you can make the players to avoid to get bored, because you know every time that a sound is going to be played, it's going to be a little bit different. So that's a good trick, okay? For using it, remember you only need to change the tone to a random number. Check the class about our scoring to learn how to do that, okay? Now that you add that, we are going to just show the text window to all the players with the information telling, hey guys, all the players, this player dies. Okay, so how do you do that? Just hit here at, you are going to select player group. Remember, you have the two options in player and also in player group, but player group is going to show to all the players what is happening, so you are going to select player group. And in player group, you are going to select the one that says display chat info to the group. Okay, now on the information, you are going to select first to which group. You are going to select all the players, of course. And then in content, you are going to do a string concatenation. So remember, function library, string concatenation, and expand that section. In the first part, you are going to put player's name, which is in function library, player and player name, okay? And then you are going to show the information to the other players. In my case, is gets out from the field. You can personalize that. So as an example, you can put the player has been killed because, I don't know, whatever you want to put on there. What I highly advise you to do is that this is going to be a big part of the game. Always show to the other players by text what is happening. Okay, in my case, just explaining to them that the player gets killed, and that's the easiest way to show it. Okay, so guys, now with this, we already finished our next trigger. Okay, so the only one that left to finish the game, and with that I can say to you guys, we almost finished this, is the one that says reload snowballs. Okay, so very important, guys. Remember, in the game you can reload, just as an example I showed before. But very important, guys, remember that depends on the hero. Okay, so remember, we choose a hero, and our hero is going to have a specific amount of bullets that the hero can use. Okay, so that depends on it. So before showing you that, all right, no, let's. Okay, I'm going to give you the next code just because we are on the next part of the class, and right after that we will be able to give you the last one. Okay, guys, so very important, guys. Also, if you have questions, just let me know, so I will be able to resolve all your questions. All your answers are going to be on there before the class finish. Okay, so the next code is going to give you a permanent skin, or actually no, this one, no, this is going to give you just a temporal skin. The next one after this is actually going to give you a permanent skin. Okay, so guys, up to the moment you have questions. I know that the streaming takes a little bit of time to get in your end. Most of the time it's going to be 1 or 2 minutes until you see the content. So I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to take a little bit of time to drink some water. Okay, guys, so please ask me any question. I will be here. I'm just taking some water, so I'm going to make a silence, but don't worry, I'm here with you. Okay, guys, I'm just back. I see that right now, in the moment, you don't have any other question. So let's continue with the next part of the class. Just give me 1 second, guys, and let's continue, okay? So let me move my screen a little bit. I will be able to look better at the content here, okay? Sorry, guys, you know. Okay. All right. So, guys, all right. So Now that we already finished that part, that I think it's easy to understand, we are going to learn how to reload some bullets, okay? So the way that you are going to do it is by walking away, okay? So remember, whenever the player walks over a block, you have the option to reload a couple of bullets. So how do you do that? You are going to add a new trigger, and the new trigger name is going to be reload snowballs, okay? Very important, if you want to use a different name, it's okay, but I use this one, so if you want to just avoid to be loose or avoid to be confused, just use the same names, okay? But you can use whatever name or you wanted to give it, of course. So first thing, in event, you are going to add a new one, as we are going to check every time that the player moves. If the player is over a snow block, you are going to select moving, okay? That's going to be the first option and the easiest one. Once you got that option added, you are going to add a condition, okay? So once more, the first condition is something that we already got on here, so just copy and paste. Don't do overwork, don't do double work here, so just copy and paste. And once you copy and paste, guys, you are going to have the next options, okay? So remember, we already are going to have the first one. Then we have to check if in the player amount of bullet is less of the max, okay? Why? Because imagine that you have a gun, you cannot actually use a gun with 35 space for the bullets, and when you reload it, you are going to have 100, and that's something that you need to avoid, okay? So how do you assure that the players are not going to get more bullets than the ones that the player needs? The easiest way is just by checking with a variable, okay? And the variable that we got is the variable that was already created, that is player max balls, okay? So how do you do that? You just hit here, add a new condition. You are going to check a numerical comparison, okay? So select numerical comparison, and in the first score, you need to check how many items the player has, okay? So just select function library, scroll down directly to players, and select number of items owned, okay? The number of items owned, you can choose which item the player is going to have. So select the number of snowballs, okay? On template library, just scroll down to custom, and in custom, remember to select the snowballs that we are going to have here, okay? So, sorry guys, I need to drink a little bit of water. Okay, so now guys, now that you select the snowballs, you are going to choose here, right on the middle, what numerical comparison we are going to do. So remember, less than is going to be the one that we are going to use, so select less than, sorry. And then we need to check which variable, okay? So we already create a variable for it. The variable is being called max amount of volts. So just select here, go to function library, go to player, and choose a player's private variable, okay? Once you got it, you are going to have an option to expand the different options here. So you are going to select players in trigger event, player max volts, okay? Remember, that's the only option that we have as a private variable for values, so you are not going to be confused, but remember, this handles the max amount of bullets that the player can have, okay? Now, you got this resolved, you are going to have two conditions, and the third condition is going to be almost the most important, okay? So, remember that in our game, the snow floor, it's going to be like different from the one that you have into the walls, okay? So if you have, as an example, a snow block in the floor and the snow block in the walls, as they are going to be different, we need to check both at the same time, because otherwise you will need to have two different scripts, two different triggers. You can do, of course, that, but it's going to be easier just to do this, okay? So for checking two things at the same time, you need to act a new condition, and you are going to select the one that says OR, okay? OR will allow you to choose in between two different actions, okay? Or two different conditions. So you are going to get something like this, this part, just forget about this part. This part is not important. You are going to keep it always like yes, true. What you are going to expand is this one in the middle, and you are going to have two different like options here, okay? So the two different options are the two different conditions that is not working, okay? Oh, okay, guys, I see that I just copy and paste the same code, so let me... Oh, okay, yeah, it's the same one. Really sorry for that. Just... at the end of the class, I'm going to give you that code, okay? So don't worry, guys. Like, in a little bit. So on here, you can choose the first one or the second one. Are going to be almost the same, okay? So just do the same for each one of the different boxes here. But in the first one, it's the tricky part. You are going to be a lot confused because, okay, you can hear an airplane, so let's wait until the airplane passes through. Okay, so the airplane now is far away. Right now in the streaming, you hear a lot of things. You hear animals, you hear sounds like this small plane. Yeah, now it's already moving, okay? So on here you can be a lot confused the first time that you use this, because you're going to see that the options are not in the same location that they used to be, okay? So the first thing that you are going to do is we are going to check if the block under the floor, under the feet of the player is the same. So on here you can find that in Word, okay? You are not going to have blocks on here, so you need to choose Word. And there is an option that says comparison of block. You are going to select that one. And on here you are going to have the next options, okay? So you need to expand this one, and you are going to select template library, sorry, not template library, you are going to select function library, and you are going to select word and block of type on the specific location, okay? And then you need to put another thing on here. You need to put function library, and you need to choose location offset, okay? So this is very important, guys. Location offset, as always, is going to allow us to choose or to select an area depending of another area. So you can choose one block below that area or 2 blocks over the area, 2 blocks at the north of the area, okay? So there are 2 options here. The option that says location offset no changes, or with changes, okay? So we are going to use the one that says no change, okay? Select that one, and we are going to select event position, shift along the coordinate axis, and you are going to keep a 0 on it. That means that we are not going to move to west and east. We are going to select the altitude minus, and this is very important, minus 0.5, and the final one, that is north and south, we are going to keep it empty, okay? So with this, we are going to check the same position where the player is, but just 1 block below that, okay? Now, on this one, you already have the first part. For the second one, in the second box, you are going to put the exact same condition. So you are going to add comparison of block. Again, you are going to select type of block and location, and once you got both of them, you have to select in each one of them this part that says snow block, okay? So how do you select that? On here, block type and specific location, you need to pick up first at the floor or the snow floor that your map gets. So in my case, it's going to be snow floor. And in the second one, you are going to do the same, but you are going to choose the block that you have under your walls, that is the snow wall, okay? And with this, you already have this covered. That means that whenever I walk over the snow, even if it's the wall or even if it's the block in the floor, you are going to have the option to recharge your gun, okay? Now, what will be the next action? The next action will be here to first just give 1 block to the player, okay? So the way you do it is just click in here, click in player, and in player you are going to add an item, guys, okay? So item I'm going to add, of course, is a snowball. So just select one, select template library, you scroll down, you select custom, and you select the snowball. That is one of the main parts of our game. Okay, so once you select that, of course, as always, we already covered the part, but we are going to give some feedback to the players as always. Remember guys, the difference between a good map and a normal map is most of the times the feedback. So with the feedback, the player is going to know that it's recharging, it's loading. The way you do it is just first add a sound. The sound, you need to scroll down, sound effect, and you are going to play a sound effect on players. The one I'm using is footstep. Number 2 is something that is very, how I can call it. It's not that much loud. It's something that is very moderate in sound. It's the sound that you're hearing right now. Playing it, pause the music because it's not very loud, so you won't be able to hear it. But it's this one. Guys, as you realize, it's a sound that is like very moderate. Once more. But will the players the players are not going to know that they are reloading, okay? And then what I show to them is a text, okay? The text I'm using is something simple. Just hit here, select player, and select display text to the player. The sound I'm using, guys, is the text I'm using is this one that says you get 1 snowball, okay? So the players are going to know that actually they are reloading, okay guys? So right now for you guys, we already finished the class with this one. Congratulations guys, you already will have a map that can be playable, that is from the style that I showed you. It's a snowball fighting with some elements about pulling your stronghold, okay? Now guys, I'm going to start answering questions in the 15 minutes that we left, and I'm going to give you the codes that left. So as I realize that some of the codes are not working fine, so don't worry, I'm going to give you new ones for those, okay? For now, guys, I highly advise to copy the next one, the one that I'm going to show you. That is this one, okay? This is a permanent code, so it's going to be very important, guys. This code is going to be very useful, okay? So I just put it in the chat, and I just going to take the time also to read you in the chat, okay? Once more, just 1 second here. Let me read you, okay? How many people is the code for? So depends of the code. Most of the codes are going to be up for 15 people. And welcome PayKeyTL. So yeah, the code is up max to 15 people. Okay. All right. Welcome Nugin, Bantuan also. All right, guys. So right now we already resolve that part. I don't know if you have questions, guys. There is something that you need to do, how to do it, or yeah, you need to specifically want to show me how it works, so I will be able to help you out. If you do, just let me know into the comments, so I will be able to provide you all the help that you need, okay? Of course, something that I forgot, guys, and very important. If you realize that some specific triggers are executing, as an example, the bullet triggers are executing right now, what you need to do is the next thing, okay? And very important, guys. This is very important. This is something that we need to change, so it's going to work fine. But you are going to have some errors, okay? So first thing that we need to correct, guys, remember that we delete the previous one that was this one, and we replace it by this, okay? So when you do that, something that you need to do is after that, we will need to redirect this, okay? So what I need you to do is to just go to main system, go to ini combat, and in ini combat, you are going to have this part, and it's going to be in orange, okay? So you need to reselect that, so you need to reopen this, you need to select trigger, and you need to scroll down to combat stage, and you need to reselect that. That is very important, guys, okay? So you are going to reselect inventory combat, otherwise it's not going to give you the items, okay? Now, apart from that, remember that Miniboard has like a bug or error that every time that you add here the option to turn off all the trigger sets is not going to work, we need to update that, okay? The way that you can update to be sure that it's going to work fine is that you need to go to any boolean, to this one. You are going to scroll down, and in the part that says change boolean stage on, you need to select it, you need to click on, and you need to keep it on, and then you need to reselect this. I know that it already says boolean stage, but you need to redo it. So just click on it, trigger set, boolean stage, and that's it, okay? We need to also do it in combat, so you are going to scroll down, you are going to select that one, the one that says combat station, so you just need to, once more, it's already on there, but you need to re-put it on, okay? Select trigger set once more, and select combat stage again. And also, you need to scroll down, and you need to re-link those that you got here, okay? So, once more, you have to select the one that we are going to turn off to trigger set, and once more you need to just select the same for each one, okay? And that is going to update and is going to make the game work fine, okay? Also for this one, just go to upgrade blocks, trigger set, and upgrade blocks, and also for the final one, okay? Remember guys, this needs to be done every time that you add or change something in that folder, okay? So once more, go to trigger set and select downgrade blocks. With this, now it's going to work fine. There are some common errors that I almost forgot to tell you. Okay. So Basti Soriano says thanks. Okay, so not a problem. Guys, if you are not having the way to choose that, let me show you. Okay. So, guys, problems that you can have. So, when you are copying the code here, first error that you can get is that you can get a space at the end and you didn't notice. If you hit that, it's going to tell you that the game is not correct, okay? It's going to tell you this. So the way you resolve it is you see on here at the end you have a space. So if you delete that space, now check that I don't have a space, it's going to allow me to claim it, okay? Of course I cannot do it because I already got it. Alright, still, if this doesn't work, be sure that it doesn't have, okay, any kind of a space or something. If that doesn't work on there, just go here, leave, okay, that's very important. Okay, and go here, and here, right here, click on the options and click once more in the gift, select events again, select activation code, and try to paste it on there. Sometimes doesn't work in the other way, and if you still having none like this, probably it's because the code has been already claimed a lot of times, okay? But don't worry guys, I'm going to give you and bring you other code as this is Christmas. Just give me 1 minute, okay? I'm just getting the codes for you guys. So, one moment. Alright guys, so try to use this instead. Okay, no, this is not the one. Let me use this, and let me put that also into the chat, okay? So you are going to have that information back and alright, so try with that one. Let's check if it works. So welcome Mr. Noob, and welcome Dark Knight also. Welcome to the class. Welcome T Blank. No, T Blank was already in here. Okay guys, so please go ahead and climb the code. This code is going to work. 1 second. Activation codes, and let's put it on. Let's see if it works. Alright, it works. So it's just for the Santa beard. Okay guys? Alright, so guys, once more, if you have questions, just let me know. I will be able to resolve all your questions if you let me know any question that you have, of course. Okay, Alright guys, so I want to show you just the update while you ask me questions. The update of the game I'm developing for Pokemon, okay? So, I got my Pokemon here. Probably you see before the game, but now I update a little bit more that one. So this game is not playable yet, guys, but I already advanced it a little bit, okay? So on this game, you are going to receive Pokemons, as always. I already have mine here, so I already got this part saved. Okay, so check these, guys. Yeah, I have my different Pokemons here. I have a Squirtle, a Bulbasaur, and a Charmander. Okay, so a lot of features, new features for this game. First, of course, you can select your starter. And every time that you select your Pokemon, you are going to have the stats for your Pokemon. Okay, so my Squirtle is level 17. Remember that you can level up your Squirtle. It's going to have a total amount of 3 stars. That means that it's not the best Squirtle, it's just a normal Squirtle. And it's from type water. Here you can see the final stats, and here you can see the IV input. That means how many bonus receives over the normal stats. That means that is a normal one, okay? Next one, I got my Bulbasaur. My Bulbasaur is going to have different stats. It's of course level 68, so it's much powerful than my Squirtle. And as you see, it's a 4 stars, so you have more different tools on here, okay? Another important thing is that, of course, you can see the levels, and you can see also, let me show you here, my Charmander. My Charmander is level 5, it's also 4 stars. I don't have any 5 stars, but it's level 5 only, okay? Of course, you have some basic ones. The first one is to choose your area. Also, you have a Pokemon Center. It's not working full now, but you will be able to recover here. And a Pokemon Store, okay? Check this. Of course, you can buy some extra things, and there is like different stores levels. For now, I only put one, but the stores will have different items depending on the store that you visit. Now, check this, guys. I won't be able to summon my Pokemons here. I need to be inside of a fighting area. So, the only fighting area that you can use is gyms and also stadiums, okay? So when you access to the stadium, you will be able to use your Pokemons. As an example, I summon my Squirtle, and in the top you can see the different Pokemons that you have with a different amount of lives, okay? As an example, in here I see that my Squirtle is the one that I used. My next Pokemon will be Bulbasaur, and the next one that I got here is Charmander, okay? Of course you can fight, but the fighting system is not finished yet, so it's not working very good. But of course you have like different skills, depending on the skill that you use. You have Water Gun, you have Tail Whip, and you have Tackle, of course, with each element. Each element is going to have a bonus. And of course you can choose to change your Pokemon, okay? So when I use Switch, I will be able to use Bulbasaur, and Bulbasaur will have different skills. Of course, it's different ways to attack the Pokemons, okay? Of course you can die also. This part is not working very fine, guys, but it's going to be a little bit fun. Because the model is not working fine right now, it's not changing. Of course, I'm supposed to have Charmander, but of course, as you see, it's not working. And your Pokemons can find, if they die, actually, you are going to lose your Pokemons. And right now, as you see, I already only left one Pokemon that's supposed to be Squirtle, but of course, this has the model of Bulbasaur because I weren't able to change it, okay? So if my Pokemons have already found it, if I use this, I won't be able to change. Of course, I can fight with them. I can use different skills. But those skills are just temporal skills. Remember, guys, that we haven't finished yet the game, okay? Anyway, if I die inside a scenario, of course I'm going to be loose, so I have to return to the Pokemon Center. And of course you can receive new Pokemons and things like that, and you can level up your Pokemons. That's something that I want to show you in the short time that we got here. So I got into the Pokemon Center because I have completely loose. Of course I have my Pokemons here. And of course I can level up my Pokemons. I also can give rare candies for the Pokemons. I only need to use this. Oh no, this one is not going to work fine. I need to go to a specific location as an example of Professor Oak. No, this one is not going to work fine, so let's talk with Pokemon Oak. On here I can choose which Pokemon I want to use, and I can use the rare candies to level up from level 68 to level 100. As an example, I can level up my Bulbasaur here. And we got now a Bulbasaur on level... We got a Bulbasaur on level 72, as you see on the screen, with a lot of more stats. We also have here a Bulbasaur on level 100, which is a little bit more faster than my Charmander, of course, because it has 30 levels more. But you see that my Squirtle is the weakest one right now, okay? And that's it, guys. What do you think about the map? Alright, Pantangin is selling high. I don't know what you're telling me because, of course, I don't know Vietnamese, but I'm going to use some traduction here, okay? Alright, guys, so translate, just 1 second here. Okay. Alright, so guys. Well, right now, did you have any question more, guys? Just to know. Okay, I think you don't have more questions. And I see that there is like some problems with Vietnam streaming for some reason. Don't worry, I don't care that. I know that Alden Game is a very good teacher, so I really don't care if you come into the class in Vietnam and also in English. It's okay for me, guys. The important thing is that you learn, so don't worry for that. On here, if you are coming from the Vietnam class, you are more than welcome, okay? So don't worry for that. Guys, just to let you know, we already finished the class. So remember that today is going to be probably Christmas for you in a couple of hours. So guys, thank you so much for assisting the class. I just want to remind you that right now is Christmas, so I hope you have an excellent Christmas with your family, with your friends. Please, guys, enjoy that time, okay? So I hope you have a very good Christmas. And that will be it, guys, okay? So remember, if you have some more questions that we cannot resolve live in live streaming right now, remember that you can reach me up into the Discord channel. Also, you can ask some questions there. And remember, guys, you have up to the 30th of December to submit your games. So I will be waiting for you, okay? So guys, bye-bye. See you for the next minicamp next month. I don't know yet when we are going to start. I think we are going to start around 11 or 12 of January. But see you on there. Of course, I cannot give you spoilers right now about what will be the next main focus for the next minicamp, because we haven't decided yet with the other teachers. But I hope I see you around. So bye-bye, guys. Have an excellent Christmas, okay? Bye, guys.